D&T show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. Live long and prosper.
Shall we just start right off the bat with a Las Vegas update?
Are we still talking Vegas, right?
We are.
Talking about Vegas.
Yes. You're coming to Vegas, right? Star Trek Las Vegas may take place every August, but on this show...
This is where we hang out the rest of the year.
Exactly.
The crew has been fatigued now from so many months in space, and they need to take a break. The landing party has been down to check out the terrain while the crew gets ready to play. They say there's only plant life living on this lovely rock, but a rodent up here's wearing a vest.
Welcome to another G&T Supplemental Log. This is Gettysburg 7, also known as Nick. Jolan True, bitches. To my right, your left, sitting here today in her alien Sigourney Weaver wear. Not sure why, what's going on with that. Think she's just excited for alien isolation. It's Terry.
Hello, everyone.
And our special guest today, he's been on before. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Al, the Gecko Man, Rivera, from Star Trek Online.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here.
Welcome back, Al. It's been, a couple of weeks.
It's been a couple of weeks.
But we're coming to you live and in glorious tape delay from the convention floor at Star Trek.
You didn't tell everybody what I was wearing.
Because he just came back from a Betazoid wedding.
And
That's how we roll here at G&T.
en natural. We're just saying. Oh, well, welcome back, and we're really glad to have you again, as always. So, big day for Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
The panel hasn't occurred yet.
Hasn't occurred. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the big Gene Roddenberry Theater.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Second time for you.
Yes.
And in true Braga fashion, when you hear this, it will have happened.
Fascinating.
So tell us what happened.
That was a very nice try.
All right, we know that you're not going to give us any spoilers as to the
sorry.
stuff that's coming out tomorrow. But how are things going with season 9.5?
Season 9.5. That's like ancient history now, right?
I know,
It's content drought time,
I
right?
know. Oh, that's right. It's been 4 whole weeks, people.
And our forum is now filling up with people on that one comment alone.
So 9.5 was, for us, it was basically, the same as what we're doing for our next content. We kind of just do things simultaneously, and sometimes it's completely transparent. We just completely forget that, where should this go? Where should that go? So 9.5 was kind of built as a stepping stone for what we've got coming out later this fall. And so for instance, the R&D system is really not a complete system yet, but it's there for what we're planning on doing. We're probably even going to have something coming maybe a little bit before. We have a couple little things coming out, and so we'll have some little stepping stones that'll kind of flesh out the whole system.
Great.
So this is just get us a chance to get to the R&D system out there and get all the bugs out and make sure you can see what it needs to fine tune for everything. All in all, with the exception of the one little with the research and development project that was people could do multiple ofs, which was never intended. That was the other thing that kind of unfortunately went out there, but it's been great. I think people are going to really love the additions that are becoming to the system. Now that the groundwork's in place.
And I do have to say, I have really enjoyed a lot of the new R&D systems that you put into place. I like the new DOS system. I don't think there's very many of us who really do miss the exploration clusters. The fact that they're still there and they're a portal to the DOS that allow us to get to the crafting and to others. The colonial stuff is still there. It's not like anything's really missing except for some substandard missions that we had all kind of bore through in the first 6 months of the game. But it works a lot like, and it's not identical, but it's very reminiscent of the Neverwinter system. Do we know if there's ever any intention for any of the R&D stuff to get out on Gateway?
It is my personal intention to get it out on Gateway.
Great.
And while we were, and although we didn't really intentionally design our R&D system like Neverwinter's crafting system, I mean, we're in the same building, and a lot of the UI and a lot of the elements. And I mean, honestly, we did the duty officer system first, and they kind of made their crafting system based on what we did.
Right.
And so now it's kind of come back, so we picked up a little of those aspects. And so the UI is purposely designed based on Neverwinter's crafting system, which fits on Gateway, right?
It does.
So it's really a no-brainer to do. It's just, okay, when can we do it?
Right.
But now we can do it.
Right.
We could not do it before. The old duty officer system was way too cluttered, right, and way too complex. So it was just like every time we tried to do it on Gateway, we're like, no, there's no way. We're going to have to redesign this whole thing to make this fit. And it was just an impossible task.
Right.
So now it's a possible task.
Well, okay, so what you've done is you've laid the foundations to be able to, you've kind of, how should I say, gutted the new system, brought a new one, laid the foundation, and now you can take the next step with putting it in.
Sure. I mean, even the projects themselves in the R&D system are designed to work Gateway style because, with the addition of the R&D projects that give you the 9,000 or 6,000, I can't remember, crafting XP.
Right.
All the crafting in between, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. Those aren't really good to come back 4 hours later to finish your project. Most people they play for a couple hours, and then they log out and they come back the next day,
right,
because they want to finish their appointment, whatever other daily that they did. But the R&D system is really good for crafting, that you can just check every hour, every half hour, every 4 hours to come in and check in. That gets you through the system a lot faster. So if you're running the duty officer system and getting resources and getting dilithium and getting materials and then pumping them into the crafting system, it's self-contained, it's a closed loop. So it's really kind of intensely designed to do all of that.
Well, that's great, because I'm really looking forward to that aspect of it, because now for the first time, a lot of us don't work from home anymore, like me, and to be able to pop in on my iPad real fast is a really easy way for me to be able to do it. It would feel nice to be able to access the game from my desk at work and just go, oh, okay, I can do this now and done, and touch it.
I think a lot of people just want to have their iPad next to their computer, even while they're logged in, to feel like they're doing they're commanding like on their data pad while they're playing the game. Now I don't want to oversell this, okay?
Right.
Because I myself and others have gotten in trouble about over-promising about, Al said this is going to happen, this is going to be coming. It's not. I'll be clear, it's not on the schedule.
Okay.
But but it is now. We are now able to do that, and everything we've done has been put in place so that way we can do it, and we plan to do that. So
great.
I hope that we can do it within the next season or two. But I don't. But if it doesn't happen in the 3 years, I don't want people getting all upset that you promised this sort of thing.
So you heard it here first. Chill out, everyone. That was me, not Al. Get it? It was me.
Take a pill. But it's now a possibility.
Great.
It's now practice. It's now what we need to do is see now that 9.5 is settled out and our new stuff that is coming out will be coming out soon, that we'll be announcing tomorrow. We can kind of take a break, and we're just starting to schedule the next stuff for the next 6 months, and then we schedule tightly about 6 to 8 months out. And so now we can start finding, is there room in the schedule? How long would it take to do this? Who could do it? Can we get extra help from outside the team? And it can we fit in the schedule? So I don't have those answers yet.
Okay.
So if that happens, then boy. This keeps happening. Never mind. Pardon me. Sorry. Someone's trying to get my attention.
We're not on video, so it's good. Now, what other snippets can we discuss that won't be spoilers for upcoming content?
That won't be...
like overt spoilers. What kind of hints can you give us?
I can't give you any hints. Sorry. You can keep trying.
Why are you here then?
I don't understand. No, I just figured I don't have anything that I can say. We're keeping a really tight lid on everything. But I can talk all about it all you want tomorrow
afternoon.
After 3
well,
o'clock.
Then we're just going to have you back. But
we can't keep talking about. I answer your question about crafting or
season 9.5
or 9.5 and
how did the summer event go? By the way, after it's all ended, and you guys
it really fast for me. It felt like it's like really well. I blinked and, oh wow, it's over already. I didn't get my ship. I'll say, okay, I'll just give item. Al gets a ship, so I can do that. But, but I didn't get to finish. It was over. It just seemed to go really fast. So I think maybe that's a good thing.
And I didn't know, but this year was the first year where you could actually give the credit to the alt. Is that correct for the ship? Where you could send the credit and it only costs like 40 pearls for the alt?
Yes.
I just want to say personally thank you as a person with like 17 alts. It was awesome. So I didn't have
she does it. I have one main and Davmac.
I don't know.
Four alts.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I don't even play my alts anymore. I went in.
I have one Fed, one Klingon, and one.
I went in them the other day.
That's about all I can handle.
The last time that I had even played Winfield, who was my original character.
Couple years?
Like 2 years ago. Because what happened is, Stan is my engineering. He was always the one I would do the first run-throughs of missions with, when a new featured mission would come out. Because with an engineer, I always was a little more comfortable because he can lay down things and do
more
all of
solo
that.
friendly.
Yeah. I just got to the point where he was the one I was doing everything with and forgetting about the others.
I think you're not.
I think there's a lot of people.
You know, it's an interesting challenge. I mean, building a free-to-play game is far different than building a subscription-based game. We want to build lots of content because Cryptic in the past didn't do a really good job at building end-game content. Like, I don't know if you ever got to play City of Heroes or even the original launching of Star Trek Online, right? And so now we just throw so much end-game content. There's so much to do, and now we have the opposite problem, which is, well, now I want me to do it for all my alts, and it's too much work. So that's a first world problem. I think I'm okay with that. I mean, it's it's a tough balance to say, should we give people the ability to have little bonuses for their alts? At first, it's like, no, that's the whole point. So we'll keep playing. It says, well, maybe there's enough to do already. It varies when you have such a different breadth of people who play for a couple hours a week and someone who plays so much more, risking that person burning through everything really fast versus someone more casual. And I mean, that's the same problem we have with all our content. Right. We have such a breadth of players. I mean, really first-time, not just MMO players, first-time gamers.
What kind of growth have you had, since the launch of Legacy of Romulus in players?
So Legacy of Romulus was a huge boon for us, right? And that kind of really gave the game a really big kick. Now, like with any game launch or any expansion, you get that big kick, and then it tails off, right? And then the magic is, at what point does it level off? Does it level, and where you're like, is it? And so, I mean, it's something we pay attention to a lot, and so we're in a really good spot. So that way, it's leveled off at a really comfortable level for us. And then when we release a season or something, you get that nice little boost again, and you gotta watch the cadence, but you gotta get something out every 3 months.
Yeah,
you got to. It's about 3 months. If you don't get something good out in 3 months, then it goes down. People get bored.
Well, and one of the things I was wondering, because I know how long I get on and play, what do you have like an average time that players are on when they log on?
Yeah, I mean there's certainly extremes, but most people we find play about 3 days a week for about 2.5 hours.
Okay, yeah, that's probably about right.
That's an average.
Yeah.
And with some of the
they earn about 3,500 dilithium, and that's about how much they earn.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so that's what an average player does.
So that's interesting that you track all of that.
We track a stupid amount of data.
So you're saying Section 31 is watching it.
Section 31, yes, is
and the Telshiar and whatever the
and the
Klingons
Obsidian
use.
Order and the
whatever
the forecasters. Do you remember they were in a novel?
Yeah.
The Klingons equivalent of Section 31, the forecasters.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like,
I can't remember the novel, but they would forecast any doomsday situations that they had in case the Klingon Empire would go down. That they basically just. This happens, we're going to kill everybody, and this is how we'll do it. If this happens, we're going to kill everybody, and this is how we're going to do it.
That's very Klingon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Morn is
forecasting different.
As we're doing from the studio, Morn just walked by.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a live interview at Star Trek Las Vegas.
The line that is by our booth right now, if you can hear the background, is about a mile long, and that's no lie, probably. That is for Harlan Ellison.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Did you see him yesterday?
No. On stage?
Yeah. Wonderful. I can't say anything else otherwise.
In the most Trainwreck kind of way.
If I say it was anything other than wonderful, I get sued. So.
I really appreciated Nick's participation in that.
Well, I did. I did.
heard that you had something to do with that.
I was the one that put him up to that. So
Not me.
If anybody hears about Taco or Taco Fangs trolling Harlan Ellison, that was my fault.
It's not
I
your
take
fault.
full responsibility.
Free will.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
No, I think it was brilliant. I think I don't like that much negativity in my life. That was a little too much for me. I almost walked out.
Really?
Yeah, he's too much for me. I want a little more zen and peace.
What are you seeing this year at the convention now? For those that have been here in the past and maybe aren't here now, the hallways in Rio are amazing.
The hallways are decorated. They've got the Guardian Forever. They got the transporter pad. They've got all the cardboard cutouts of all the captains and other casts. Some great posters. The retro posters. I can't remember.
The One Ortiz posters are fantastic.
Yeah, the One Ortiz posters.
Right.
A little disappointed about Quark's Bar.
Yeah.
As kind of a stinker. I don't know about what happened there.
Yeah.
It's like because they seem to really plug it. Quark's Bar, and it was like a neon sign.
Yeah.
So,
and it's pretty much sandwiches and Coke. Not even that.
I think
and
some
it's dead.
Ferengi are going to be there or something. Oh, we got a nice
Nero.
Nero.
Oh, that's
up
pretty
here.
cool. That's pretty cool. Well, the Star Trek Online's presence at the con this year consists of more than just your panel, though. I'm in trouble. We're taking a picture as we speak. Hello.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Squirrel.
Yeah, really. It's more than just the panel, though. You have the panel. You're doing another function as well. It's the Meet the Devs.
Devs, yeah.
And that's going to be Saturday night.
Yeah, so tomorrow,
right?
tomorrow it's well, I guess this will be already happened, right? Since we're in the future right now.
it would have been on Saturday night.
So yeah, Saturdays 2:00 will be the panel, and we're on stage for 45 minutes, I think.
Okay, great.
And so we'll be announcing our big stuff. Hopefully, people will be excited about it. And then yes, and at 7 to 9, we'll be doing Meet the Devs.
I get what you did there.
Yeah, I like that.
So what devs are going to be? No, I know. I'm realizing that this was on who was on the panel.
On the panel, it'll be myself. It'll be our lead producer, Stephen Ricosa, not Stephen D'Angelo. Stephen Ricosa, who's Salami Inferno, and then our lead artist, Brad Stokan, who has the best name in our company for our product because it's STOCAN, so Stokan is his name.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's
so
very cool.
he does. I don't think he has a forum name. This will be one of his first public appearances, I guess. But he's been our lead designer, our lead artist for a while. He actually was the executive producer on Champions before that, so he moved over to be the lead artist here.
Once again, it's really good to see that. And
Thomas the Krypton Cat will be moderating. He'll be moderating.
Oh,
One thing I want to thank you guys for the interview that we did about a few weeks ago with the ladies of Stowe.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
I went onto the forums, and the reviews were so great, and that's because of those ladies.
And
they did a great job.
They did a really great job. We had a very good time. Wonderful interview.
There's one right there.
And there's one right there.
Look who's walking in our studio.
It's Miss Kate Bankson herself.
Miss Kate is walking in.
A lady of Stowe.
Hi. Nice to see you again, my dear.
Nice to see you.
We were just discussing the Ladies of Stowe interview that we had here on
and that the forums liked the interview.
Oh yeah, there were like at these
I was
the pages
hospitalized
I was
after
seeing,
that.
like there were not death threats or like horrible, awful comments. I was pleasantly, happily surprised. I was.
Well, you really haven't done a dev interview until you get the death threats, Kate. So you need to work a little harder.
Well, you're going to get one. You didn't do your nails like last year. Last year you had little Delta shields on your toenails.
I know. I was going to do them this year. I bought the blue. I was going to do silence. I was going to do science this year, and then I just ran out of time before we had to hop on a plane and get here. So
what have you been doing since you got here?
I have been talking with people and being interviewed and seeing panels and having all kinds of fun. So that's what I've been doing. So
well, we're definitely going to bring you back because I want to interview you directly so we can talk a little bit more about your work. And I want to wait until after your announcements.
So then I can talk about stuff.
So maybe this year I can actually go to a Stowe panel.
That would be awesome.
See, remember she used to do it when she was massively. She would be there, and I had to be here.
If we can trade off, we're going to give you this. So it'd be great. Well, we're going to tie things up. Yep, perfect timing. And thank you, Kate, for dropping by and saying hi. We will talk with you directly.
How's the green room? Is the green room still all nice and clean, or do I need to send some
or did
people
Thomas
in?
go in?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Thomas is behaving himself. So.
Okay, all right, good.
Now, before we hang up, hang up. How's that for an oldie but a goodie? Oh my God, I'm tired.
We were at the Star Trek Continues till 3 o'clock this morning. Oh, yeah, that's why I couldn't go, because I do.
The things we do for the.
Although I might go to the Axonar one because I thought it was just going to be the same thing I saw before, but it's actually going to be.
Oh, is it something different?
Yes. So now I think I need to. Did you see what we have?
That's J.J. Hertzfeller's uniform from Star Trek Axonar.
I kind of don't. I didn't want to go because I want to be rested for tomorrow, but I don't want to miss that. So I don't know.
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow night.
Oh, it's tomorrow night. I'm there.
Awesome.
I can be exhausted for Sunday because it'll be all over.
I know we're not going to ask you for any more spoilers or anything like that, but is there anything that you want our listeners to know before we head out?
Anything I want the listeners to know?
Please stop with the death threats.
Tell them. No, I can't. I love the lot.
There's so much you want to say.
So much that I want to say.
You guys, you can see it in his face. He's just really excited about a lot of stuff.
He's like Kirk when Janice Lester was in Kirk's body and had things she wanted to say but couldn't.
Yeah, we'll just have to keep a surprise. I mean, all I can say is that that's all I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed. I think some people have been speculating. Some people got it right. Some people got it wrong. No one got it completely right. But there's a lot of good stuff coming out there, and I think people will be excited. I think this will alleviate some of your concerns, Terry, that you've been talking about.
And I've had some.
Right, as far as about this. Okay, we need to mix it up.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
We're mixing it up.
Oh, this should be interesting then.
So it's like a Cobb salad.
It is a. Yeah.
I'm breaking it down for our listeners. They're not the brightest people.
You have to understand, everyone, that was Nick. That was Nick who just said that.
Yeah, no, that was me. You know I hate you all, please. I don't hate you, you know that. Except for you, Baz.
Thanks once again for joining us, and we'll catch you after the Stowe, and maybe we can put them together in a dual piece. That would be really fun.
That would be great.
Awesome. Thanks, Al. Thanks, Kate, for joining us.
Thank you all. Joel on True.
Well, everybody, it's Tara Lynn back at Star Trek Las Vegas Convention 2014. To my left, your right, dressed in his Star Trek Delta Rising t-shirt, it's Gettysburg.
Joel on True, citizens.
And joining us today in follow-up to our wonderful conversation before the big news came out is lead designer of Star Trek Online, Al Rivera.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon. I'm not sure what it is.
We're kind of lost in time right now. Huge news. We were very excited to attend the Star Trek Online panel yesterday.
Very well attended panel.
I know you couldn't see it, but you could.
It's hard to see because when the lights are blinding and all I can see are a lot of the front seats are empty because those are the gold pass members.
Passport.
So no one can sit there, which really bums me out when people can't use them if no one's going to use them. So there's that. But I could hear from the noise out there, and as I got used to it, I could see it was probably 2 to 4 times more turnout than last year.
I would say so.
And the IBAR Meet the Devs panel was packed.
It was
packed. Probably we almost got kicked out. The bartender's like, what's all you guys doing here? Did you authorize this? And they're like, yeah, we did call ahead. So it was pretty, it was a lot.
Well, I have to tell you, I laughed from the beginning because this year on the stage, if you've been here before, now they have a holodeck arch with the doors that open. When
on
Thomas walked out on the stage, I just started laughing because we know Thomas, and Thomas is Thomas. I mean, he's so quiet and everything. And when he walked out and the band was playing and he waved, I just thought that was the greatest thing. And then you guys walked out and the band is playing rock stars.
The band, I know.
You guys
it
were
was
rock
awesome.
stars.
I mean, 5 Year Mission was playing a song. They even said they'd do a drum roll when we were announcing. So, walking out of the arch was great. I walked out as soon as they opened up. I had to take a picture of that. And she took a picture of me coming out, taking the picture. So she got a picture of me with the flash coming out, so like tying it at the same time.
Perfect.
So
That's great.
I'll be posting those. So yeah, walking, when you get to do that, right? It's like this is the best part.
It was, as far as I'm concerned, it was better than you could have done it even if you had attended E3. It was very cool. Well, the big news that came out, of course, is that there is
big news? Is it really?
Shut up.
You mean the new crafting stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
No. I snorted. You made me snort, damn it. No, there is a huge new expansion coming out that you've titled Delta Rising.
Yes. Biggest ever, right? Even bigger than Romulus.
Even bigger than Romulus.
That's huge. Another 10 levels for players.
Yes.
There will be, I am assuming, Admiral and then Fleet Admiral?
Admiral, then Fleet Admiral for Federation, and that happens to be the same ranks for Romulans, if I believe, and for Klingons, it's General, and then Dahar Master.
Awesome. I'm still kind of agog over the whole thing. We saw some incredible concept art.
Some of that wasn't concept art.
And
the Federation stuff was real. The Klingon, the Rama stuff was concept.
Oh. You guys have no idea how beautiful this was.
Yes, that is beautiful.
And there's some beautiful art of the new Intrepid, which is actually the Voyager.
Yeah, there's technically both. We built like a generic Intrepid and of course the Voyager. And that's when Brad was talking about how we built both kitchens, so the Intrepid will still have Neelix's kitchen in there, because why not?
Right.
And the players and any other Intrepid will have the original one with replicator. But a player, if you get the Intrepid, will be able to choose which bridge you want.
And some of the planets. Oh my God.
Yeah. There's one really awesome mysterious planet.
With the birds.
The mysterious one with those jetting rocks. Yeah. That's an important location for us.
So you're bringing us into the Delta Quadrant, and bringing in Captain Harry Kim from the USS Rhode Island.
And the USS Rhode Island, yes.
And that leaves Tuvok.
Yes. That leaves what?
Tuvok as being the CO of
Tuvok is in command of Voyager. Yeah, he is. He's currently in surface tension, the last episode that we played on Star Trek.
So that hasn't changed. He's going to remain the CO.
He's going to remain it. He's going to take that because he needs to take that into the Delta Quadrant.
So we get to bring Tuvok. So Tuvok's going to be there too.
I love the thing about Tim Russ. When we were playing the game, I said it feels like Voyager because he's so got Tuvok.
He's got it down.
He knows how to do the audio only.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's
which is a far different of all the actors that we've worked with recently. He nails it like in the first take, and I think it's because he's played the character a couple times. Recently, say for instance in Renegades, and he mentioned some other, maybe it was another game, Star Trek game, I can't remember, but he's I can't recall. Oh, he played it in where did he play Tuvok? Was he Tuvok in Gods and Men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's played the character multiple times recently. So it's more second nature to him. So he's really he was in and out. He got it.
Tuvok was a character I wanted to hate when I started watching Voyager. I don't know why. It was just something about.
Maybe because is he trying to fill Spock's shoes? Maybe there's a little subliminal going on.
Yeah,
there's another kind of like second officer. Vulcan.
Yeah, it might something along those lines because TNG didn't have a Vulcan, Deep Space Nine didn't have a Vulcan, and Enterprise hadn't been out yet. But I could not just love the character of Tuvok because he's just so powerful. And then in the game, he has that power.
You know what I like about Tuvok is that I think Tuvok makes every other character in Voyager better.
Yes.
Right? Tuvok makes Neelix better. He makes B'Elanna Torres better, right? He makes Harry Kim better, right? They juxtapose in every way, and he makes Tom Paris better, and he makes Janeway better because of their love for each other, right?
Their scenes together are always
great.
And
he makes Seven of Nine better. He bonds with everyone, and even the Doctor, in so many different ways.
His farewell to Neelix he's actually brought tears to my eye with the little foot movement.
Oh, yes.
I cried.
Yes.
I did.
And don't think that we didn't notice that in Delta Rising.
I love this stuff. This is like my favorite time to talk to Al, is right before stuff's coming out. When I know I can't ask him direct questions because I'll never get direct answers, but it's these beautiful
I'm sorry,
little...
he's the captain from Deep Space Nine with the head that you can see the brain.
Oh, the one that Terry Farrell was.
Yeah. A clear skull. I love Trekkies. They will pick up on the smallest,
most beautiful stuff.
I don't know.
I saw who did I see that was I saw some really obscure reference recently. Oh, I can't remember, but I did see a really amazing costume, a picture of a costume of Beverly Crusher and Deanna Troi in their leotards.
They stopped by here
and did the yoga slit. Oh my God! It was always like the most weirdest, inappropriate thing on Star Trek. So what are you doing on here?
They stopped by here and they were like talking, and then all of a sudden they went stretch.
It was very, very funny.
Well, and that's one of the things now, as we're talking, we're squirreling a lot because it's Sunday. A lot of Star Trek Online costumes here cosplayed this year.
Did you see my pictures?
Yeah.
From that? The lineup?
Well, you had a lineup?
We did a lineup at the Meet the Devs yesterday. I put it on my Twitter, so if everyone's listening to follow my Twitter, you can see the lineup.
And that would be at Captain Gecko.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna spoil something that no one online is actually gonna get a chance to see right now. That you can't see because we're on radio right now.
Right.
But where is it? Check out this. Oh, I gotta turn the brightness up because it's dark. I'm sorry, this is not great radio.
That's all right.
It's our show.
Yeah, it's our show. Deal with it.
So check out this.
Oh, yeah, you guys are going to love watching this. There's some Priority 1 geekdom going on. There's some Stowe geekdom going on.
They're doing the dance emotes.
Yeah. They're doing the dance emote.
Look at Cookie.
Do the Running Man.
Do the Running Man.
All in their Sierra Star Trek Online.
Do the leg kick. Robot. The robot.
She yells the robot's hard.
Oh my God, the robot is hilarious. Oh my God, somebody's doing the gesture. Okay, you're going to love seeing this video. It's hilarious.
We're having our own show.
This is really great. You should see it.
This is really great. So where are you going to post this, Al?
I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
I posted it from the hotel, and I can't, but then it didn't seem to go through, so I don't know. Wi-Fi is really weird.
That's really
But I'll be posting this up, and as well as also on my Star Trek Vegas website. That's the trekoflife.weebly.com. It's got the wedding video from last year and my panel from last year. So I'll put again this year's panel pictures, and as well as this video, which is just be on my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
So, and I'll eventually tweet it once I get worked out.
Who was the one that said, "Let's go to the Delta Quadrant"?
Oh well, I wanted to go to the Delta Quadrant, but we've been wanting to go that way for a long time. It's the next obvious choice. I think that people are going to want to go to the Gamma Quadrant. We don't really know much about what's in the Gamma Quadrant, because there's a couple races that we saw, but it was so much more. Alamarine. Oh,
fourth shop.
But the Delta Quadrant is a huge 7 years of details in there to figure out.
7 years of Alien of the Week from which you can pull.
Exactly. So. Just as much as TNG, right?
Please tell me you're going to make the Kazon more formidable.
Well, they're going to have to be because we're going to be raising the level cap, right? Yeah. But we're going to have to be a little bit smarter about it. So the Kazon are in there because it's Delta Quadrant. We have to get them in there.
Right.
But something I briefly mentioned at the panel is that if you've ever looked at a map of Voyager's travel,
yes,
we're only doing the bottom half right now. Okay, anything beyond galactic south of the Necrid Expanse. So we won't see yet the Caretaker or the Vidians or the Swarm or a few of those. They'll be coming later, right? Because we're still kind of tying in we still got Borg stuff to wrap up and Undine stuff to wrap up when that comes from the Northwest Passage. So that's where we're going to go. So we're going to start. We decided to do that part first.
I like it.
That story, and then we'll see. Okay, can we do next expansion? Maybe we'll go Galactic North to the or next season, maybe not next expansion, and then to explore that stuff there. Voyager's big.
Yes.
So, and people will say, "Oh, why did you do this guy? Why did you do this guy? Why did you do this guy?" Okay, well, because there's too much to do, and we couldn't do them all, and so we have this specific story we wanted to tell, and so I know people said, "There's a few races that are missing, but that's on purpose, so that way we have big races to do for the second half." So,
how excited was Christine to be?
It's hard to guess or remember because it's been so long that we first of all been talking about this and planning. We have been planning this since before sphere of influence since before season 8. The whole idea to go out there as far as like, you know, how you're going to get access to the Dyson Sphere and then back and where did the Genoa and Dyson Sphere, because they're connected together in the Delta Quadrant, and then the Undine would blast through the doors, right? So that whole thing was planned. We've got the next year planned for the same thing. So we plan about a year ahead, and then we get a little more and more detailed. So
is the and I know you won't be able to talk about specifics, but I'm assuming, or can we assume that we're going to see some new tech coming out with the expansion, not knowing what that tech might be?
You mean like system tech?
Yes.
Or you mean like gear? Like
no, I'm not a gear girl.
Okay. Okay.
You know me. I'm still working on Mark 11 stuff.
Some new game systems.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the major ones that we announced was the specialization talent trees, right? And
right.
So currently you level up using the skill tree system, right?
Right.
That's going to stop. You don't continue to use points in that. You're going to now basically start specializing in these talent trees to refine, kind of specialize, refine your captain and things that you want to do. And so that'll be what you'll do as you level up through. And so new powers, ground and space powers, you level up to 60. But at 60, you get to continue to invest in these specialization trees. And so it's something that we can continue to kind of, we call it horizontal expandability. So that way we can keep adding more and more of those like that.
Okay,
that's
so
cool.
As my main character is an engineer.
Yeah.
So how will that work for him
so
as compared to
like a fabrication specialist or something? Or?
We're going to be a little coy on the details of it. You're going to have to watch for the blogs.
Right.
But I mean, it's. I mean, I guess you could think of it like in a fantasy game where I'm a fighter and then I'm end cap and I'm going to specialize in ranger or something, or I'm going to specialize in dual sword fighting or something like that, right? So there'll be specializations, and they're not particularly class restricted. You don't have to be it's like only engineers can do this one. We will have.
That's what
there's no class restrictions to enter the specializations.
Great. So as an engineer, there's tack things that he could specialize in since he's
You notice the look on his face right now is I'm not talking about that.
Will that also go for the bridge officers?
Not with X2. Well, the answer is basically yes.
Okay.
Yes. 75% of it with X2, 25% of it X2.5.
Okay. Just because I don't know how many. I know Terry's my bridge crew. I consider them as much, even though it's always stunt. Yeah. That's I've been playing them for so long now that they're.
I mentioned our bridge officers will be a new bridge officer type coming in with Delta Rising. It kind of ties into what your question was right there. That it's kind of related to the specializations.
One of the things that we touched on in the first half of this interview. Oh, it's okay.
Kipley Brown is joining us.
Brown is joining us and looking
are
sexy.
those from RUR? Or those are just really awesome.
A friend of mine got them at Colossicon. They are glowing. You just call them sunglasses, goggles.
They're trippy.
But they're alien eye gear, and I'm not going to give it back to her. She doesn't know that.
those are awesome.
I love Kipley. She's been at our booth all weekend and just helping out with foot traffic and everything. And she's dancing. She's wonderful. One of the things we touched on, Al, yesterday in the first half of this interview, before Delta Rising was announced, was that there is now a foundation that's been laid for duty officer integration with Gateway.
Yeah.
That seems to be a recurring question that you were getting from the lines, and I know that there's no current plans to have Gateway up and running yet, but now it sounds like you guys know that there's a severe interest.
No, well, I've always known there's severe interest for a very long time, and it's not that there's no current plans. There is a plan. It's not currently scheduled. So we're so entrenched right now on Delta Rising right now. We haven't written the schedule for what comes after that.
Right.
I mean, we have some basic framework because we know we've got our winter event coming up. We'll have our 5-year anniversary coming up right after that, and so we know what that's going to be. But as far as what everyone's, I know, isn't it crazy? It's almost 5 years again, right? Every time we come to the con, it's like, wow, it's right. The next year's coming up. So what we need to do is basically do a tech review at this point to see what's it going to take to get it in Gateway now that we've laid the foundation, and then what are the other features that we want to get done, and then that's where production gets involved and says, okay, can we do it for this season? Can we do it for this date? No, and that's going to first need to come from the engineers because there's very little to do with design at this point and what has to happen there.
Now, one of the things I'm going to re-ask you is a question that was brought up by one of the users yesterday at the announcement. And
it's a good question about the scant.
No, you were sent away because
no,
you were
I actually got to
about
ask
the scant.
I was not. That's not why I was sent away.
No, they actually.
There was some boisterous Australian guy who took up all the time.
One thing I have to say about the scant. Next year, shoe mirrors. That's all I'm saying.
Sweet. All right. Now, one of the questions I did not get to hear because I was, let's just say, indisposed at the time. I was interrupted by somebody who was talking to me as we were trying to get.
We were tweeting like mad.
Yeah, we were tweeting like mad.
There were people like, please tell us we can't get a stream. Please tell us. So we were like.
Somebody asked a question, the inevitable question about the Foundry, and I want to make sure that we touch on it here because storytelling is one of our things. What was your answer to that person so I can get it on the record?
What was the question?
It was a question about
everything is like
Daz is standing right here.
See, like you have to understand something. I was so pumped and just like, okay, this is the message, this is the message, this is the plan, and then as soon as that one, it's like cramming for a final.
How much?
And then as soon as you finish that final, it's like you don't remember anything.
He doesn't remember anything.
I remember images. I remember Garrett, and I remember nothing tragically breaking. But I was just, it's too much.
Well, you're on adrenaline the whole time you're up there. Baz, it was a general question about Foundry.
No, it's fine. It'll catch you.
It'll catch you.
Okay. The question was. There's two parts to it. First, thank you through the devs through the people up on the stage to the devs who included new assets and costumes and ships to the Foundry, but also a question about the future of the Foundry, how that fits into Cryptic's plans.
So it was kind of a general question.
I don't remember that question. Are you sure it was the same?
Yeah, pretty quick.
Because you said something about you explained what the Foundry was for people that didn't know,
right?
And thanked them for everything that they've created.
I don't remember that. See, because I was talking
and
about
them for what they're creating for other players to play.
Yeah.
We were just coming off of making sure that a certain person who was supposed to be on stage was on stage. So.
Okay.
I don't remember the answer to that.
I don't. So the basic question is, you just want to know what the future of the Foundry is, or?
Well, I remember the answer since.
Well, tell us. Tell us the answer, Baz. Because I'm not even sure I understand the question. You want to know what the future of the Foundry is, or you're talking about how, or is it about exploration content, or?
It was more about. Basically about the future of the Foundry. How that.
You know what? I think Ricosa answered this question.
Yes,
that is why. Yes, I did.
Then we're just going to have to bug him, won't we?
You have to bug him.
Okay.
I don't remember what he said.
All right.
But basically, there are. Oh yeah, because he started talking about Zero and
all the work that they've done on their own time.
That they've done on their own time to add more assets to the Foundry. Yeah, see, when it's like, oh, okay, someone else can answer it, I can just kind of zone out for a little bit, right?
Well, sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine. I was just, like I said, it's a little bit of a blur. So the artists and Zero have been feverishly adding more and more assets to the Foundry. Bugs are always a priority for us to fix. I know I don't know if it's been resolved, but I know there was a problem with 9.5 went out, that there was some people experiencing some serious lag in the Foundry.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but I'm assuming it's been resolved by now. It was purely technical. It wasn't everywhere. It was weird. So those are really challenging bugs to find when only some people get it, but it's really definite. And so you test it, QA, you don't have the problem that someone else does because for whatever, maybe hardware setup or something.
Right.
So, but as far as other Foundry bits, I mean, my plan is to try to find ways to to generate revenue for Foundry. I mean, you've touched on it. I think you've kind of had some insight onto why the Foundry is doing in the way it is, and you're spot on. I mean, you just are, right? So if I can find ways to do that, then I can find ways to invest more back into it, right? And so I mean, the Foundry is, we built the Foundry first in Star Trek Online to see, as a piece of technology, because it was really, important for Neverwinter, because Neverwinter has a history of user-generated content, right? And so, so now it's back at us, and I've mentioned my plan that I want to do, and I don't know if we're going to do it, but the idea of having Foundry, of opening, of that being our way of doing exploration content, right? And so,
if there's a way that you can integrate it and then find a way to make it a part of the monetized game, I think that you might have a successful.
So I'll give you my elevator pitch on it, and this is all it is, because I haven't even talked about it.
And if you don't understand what an elevator pitch is, then start listening to our show.
So this is I haven't even talked about this with Stephen D'Angelo, right? This is just kind of, and I've talked about it with Ricosa about what we're going to do, because we're planning on how we want to reintroduce exploration content to the game, because with exploration, people have a high level of expectations about what exploration content is going to be, and people have said, there's been some people who are sad about we've lost the current exploration content, and the answer I always give about that. Sorry, I'm going off on tangents, but I kind of had to backpedal before I answer the other question. It wasn't something we were proud of. It wasn't something that we wanted people, now with the quality we have in the game, new people coming into the game and seeing that content. And I'll always say, if you never had exploration content in the game before, and we released it today, how would people receive it, right? And if you weren't, and if you would think that you would not receive it well, and I'm willing to bet that you wouldn't, then it probably, and we would have very little support for that,
right?
And we would frankly be, we would not be proud of it, and so then it shouldn't be in the game,
right?
And so. The main thing that people were getting out of there was some duty officer assignments. We kept those, and they had some dilithium assignments. And one way that they can earn dilithium solo, we've moved a lot of that dilithium into all the adventure and battle zones, right? Now you can solo added other ways to add dilithium, and of course this weekend is crafting weekend, and you get dilithium from crafting nodes now.
Then why are we here?
Right? So,
I don't craft. No, I don't. It's just not my thing. I tried it, and I got bored after a few, but it's not my thing.
You never were a crafter.
I'm a PvP. I PvP.
Right. I'm a crafter.
That's fine. That's something for everybody.
So I'm going to give him his PvP weapons.
Yeah. That's great. Now, so let me finish my elevator pitch. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So now what we need to do? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. That was awesome.
So we need to find a way to replace exploration, and if we hand make it, you guys will consume it in days, right? Moments, right? If we make algorithmically generate stuff, it's going to be really, really hard to meet the expectations that people are going to want, as far as it was
one of the downfalls of the cluster missions anyway.
I really want a first contact mission. I want the pre-warp civilization mission. I want a diplomacy mission. I want the medical, thing, and it's going to, it will feel like a slightly polished version of what we had before. But I think that what we could do is we can open, and this is no promise. This is what Al would love to do. Haven't even talked.
This is pipe dream, folks.
So, disclaimer ahead, that we would open up sector blocks, even the old ones that we just shut down, and we could seed it with our own missions. But then we'd have doors on there that people could put their own Foundry missions on there. So okay, on this planet, this is where I want my Foundry mission to be. Now, when a player goes to that map, they click on it, and they would get a random Foundry mission from that list of a higher rated Foundry mission, not just anything random, and then you could get real rewards from there. Now, if you could still access that mission from the current Foundry list, but you would just get current rewards that are now, because if you're random, you can't exploit it, right? Because you can't just always get that clicky. You don't know what you're going to get, and then we would. I would love to give people tools. I don't know what these tools are. Like, this is going to be, I want to make a first contact Foundry mission. I want to make a diplomacy Foundry mission. I want to make a pre-warp Foundry mission. Whatever those tools might be, I have no idea. But so that way, that are just for this kind of stuff.
I love this idea.
And then we could tie it to a rep, right? and you'd get foundry marks: exploration foundry, pre-warp foundry, diplomacy foundry. And because there comes a dilithium you have to spend for the gear, and then we make money, and then we can reinvest in the foundry.
Can I has it? Steven, I want it. Can I has it? I'm just saying.
I do. Yes, it is. This is just what I've been churning my head. I've been talking with Steve Mercosa. There are other ideas for exploration, including trying to find ways of doing better ways of doing randomly generated content, doing some ways of making templates that we just kind of make dozens and hundreds of. So there's lots of different things. This is my favorite idea, but when we start talking about it and we start brainstorming with all the leads, other things are going to percolate up, and other ideas are going to come out of it, and we're going to combine things, and so that's what we'll see. We'll see what happens and when that will happen.
Great.
So.
Well, is there anything else that you want to...
I had a question, and as usual, Al probably can't answer my questions.
That's probably true.
The lockboxes in Gamma.
What?
The lockboxes in Gamma?
The lockboxes in Gamma.
Or Delta.
I mean Delta.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
Are they going to be like we've had Zindi, we've had Romulan, all Tal Shiar? Are they going to be Delta lockbox, or are they going to be tied to...
We always try to theme our lockboxes around the content.
But is it going to be to a race, or
what? I mean,
or just to Delta Quadrant?
I'm still not quite sure what you mean by the question. Generally, the lockboxes will be Delta Quadrant themes and related to what you're...
Whatever enemy...
Whatever
enemy...
I mean, last time, we had an Undine lockbox, we had a Jem'Hadar lockbox, so we'll probably, pick some of those, and we already know what it is, but yeah, they're going to be related to the Delta Quadrant stuff. Yeah.
Now, what I was going to finish up with on our interview, is there anything specific that you would like our listeners to know that maybe you didn't really get a chance to talk about yesterday during the announcement of Delta Rising, or is there a particular piece of this that you think that you want to, again, I'm not going to say hint at, but that you are particularly excited about that's come out? I mean, the ships look amazing that we've seen. That new escort art that we saw yesterday it's cool. I know that it was turning, right? That ship, the escort was turning, but it looks like one of those really big disc fish.
Disc fish?
Yeah.
It certainly has it has a little defiant kind of sensibilities or inspirations, right? It's more...
Right.
It's
very sleek, flat.
Just like, saucer with embedded nacelles kind of thing.
Very,
right?
very cool looking.
Yeah.
The cruiser art that we saw was definitely much different.
Certainly one of my favorites is the new cruiser.
The new kind of split tail on it is beautiful.
What's the name of that class?
We do have a name for it, but we have got a couple cruisers coming out, so I can't remember what the name of that one was, but I can't remember. I don't. I'm sorry.
So, how many Excel spreadsheets did you have to open up for ships on this one?
We had to. We basically broke Excel, and so I had to start another sheet. We just ran out of memory on our current Excel spreadsheets.
Oh my God!
And there you have it, folks. The ships are coming.
Yeah. So, we talked about. There'll be a bunch of new starships coming out for all three factions, right? Within there is, we said, basically a new class of starship. I'll clarify a little bit. I don't want to say too much, but Steve Mercosa later kind of put it really well. If you kind of think of the way warbirds were, warbirds, we added the singularity mechanic to it, right? And that kind of was like a layer on top of the fact. I mean, there was just science warbirds, and then there's cruiser warbirds, and there's kind of more escort-like warbirds, and so with the warbird, with the singularity mechanic, is called a subclass or a specialty or something that's kind of layered on top of it that made them different, that kind of combined different ways. So these new ships coming out, some of them will have that new kind of a new kind of layer added to them.
Okay, cool.
Available to all three factions.
Okay, cool.
And it's also something that we're doing to add more horizontal expandabilities for future starships coming out. And along with it is a new class of bridge officers mentioned, which would be used on these new starships. Right?
And I know you're not going to talk about that because you did say it's coming up in an upcoming dev blog.
Yeah.
So do you have a specific date in October that you guys are shooting for, or is it by the end of the month?
We're just saying October. I'm going to guess it's going to be mid-month, but it's perfectly safe to say end of month because then we come out a little early, it'll be fine.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on the big news.
Sure.
Congratulations on the success of the game and the upcoming 5th anniversary in February. We're very happy for you guys.
Sure.
We're happy as players, and it'll be great to play. So.
Yeah. So just to make sure everyone gets the big takeaways that come away from it.
Yep.
This October.
Yep.
Delta Quadrant. We're going to the Delta Quadrant. Going to level 60. Tier 6 starships, right? And Mark 14 gear, right? And Voyager actors coming. The first of which that we've announced being Garrett Wang,
right.
But more to come.
Yay. Yeah, I know. I heard the more to come, and I was just like, more to come. So that's it, everybody. You can head over to StarTrekOnline.com. Follow the dev blogs on the news.
We have 40 dev blogs coming out between now and October to detail out Delta Rising.
Holy crap, that's a couple a week. That's a few a week.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Lots of stuff.
Excellent.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Well, this has been Tara Lynn in another one of our wonderful supplemental logs. This is part 2, so you'll be able to hear both the before and after the Delta Rising announcement from Star Trek Online from lead designer Al Rivera. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Terry.
Joe Lontrue.
Music for the GNT show is provided by Warp 11, Grethor, 5-Year Mission, and Andrew Allen's Smooth Federation.
GNT Show is a Busy Little Beaver production.
Some dude walks out, proceeds to explain what it's all about. I sure want to leave. I think you'd agree, but we cannot leave till we find out what it's all about. It's all make-believe, nothing is permanent down here. It's just an amusement park. Bones is now alive, so it's okay for him to say, I'm a doctor, not a shish kebab. Apparently it's okay if we trust an unknown race who can read any one of our thoughts.